Daniel, you focus mainly on the Magnificent Seven, big tech and chips more broadly rather than media names, but it does feel that once again tariffs are the eye of the storm.
Yeah, so Caroline, I mean, it keeps extending to different groups. I mean, obviously it's going to affect a company like Netflix, which is kind of used to be in the talk of those saying Magnificent Seven. But again, Caroline, if you look at the, tariffs in terms of all these different industry groups, it seems like technology is the hardest hit, even though there's a reprieve on PCs and smartphones. You don't know if that reprieve is going to be lifted up. And chips, another sector that is obviously heavily impacted by tariffs. So that's really been the, black cloud over the group that's kind of kept it from rebounding like the S&P 500 has. It's still down about 15 to 16% off mid-February highs, where the S&P is only off about maybe 8 to 10%. So it's a tough sector, not only media and movies, but also in the tech sector.
Let's get into individual names, Daniel, because of course we just talked about how Apple has switched places with Microsoft. It's no longer the most valuable company on the S&P, for example. We seem to see hardware hit the hardest at the moment. Is Apple just one that you cannot rebuy into until there's a future catalyst?
Caroline, Apple's a tough stock because before the tariffs even came out, there were a lot of concerns that there would be a delay in users upgrading to the new iPhones because they didn't have the same AI Siri personal assistant technology that everybody was hoping for that would be unveiled. It looks like it's going to go into the iPhone 17. That's not coming out till the fall. And if you look at the most recent quarter, even though there were no direct tariffs at the time, I mean, iPhone revenues were only up about 2%. So they are in a really difficult position, Caroline, because they are so heavily entrenched in the Pacific Rim, not just China, but through all their supply chains and manufacturing. They do about 15% in India, but for them to move that out of that part of the world is going to be very challenging. So they have a very tough road to go, and there were factors and headwinds that were up against them even before the whole tariff news.